Hello YouTube, welcome back to The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus with me, Eden Run, playing as Flik. Yeah, you heard. If we helped out with the bribe, would Corp play EDF again? I don't think he's looking for handouts. I encouraged him to, like, accept commissions, but he is worried that that would take away what little drive for art he has left, which is also understandable. Let him work through his stuff. 0JT9 CNEQ is the seed for this time. It is not a good start. Yeah, well, our tier rate is good. Other than, oh god, we look like me. If it was kind of darkish brown. Thank you, Rosewood Arthur, for the first bits of the week. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the Angry Dome. Why? What happened? Also, Professor Farnsworth just being really angry in the Angry Dome is wonderful. You just see him stomping around, like, shouting things, but not being able to hear what he's shouting. I'll be in the Angry Dome! You can play it on Thursday if you have Origin Prime. Anthem, that is. I do not have that. I do have Spider Baby, though. EA believes in the caste system. Hey, so do the Tau, and they do just fine. Also, they have mechs, too. Wait, are EA the Tau? We're through the looking glass here, people. So before we end up talking about something, I don't know, miserable like my day job, that was overly negative, I feel. I have two topics of conversation. My replacement to Pokemon Go, which I forgot to talk about last week, or I actually baked something. And I don't mean I cooked something, I mean I baked something. For the first time since home ec class. Oh no, maybe since home ec class I probably like cooked something with my mother at some point. Or sorry, baked. I'm distinguishing a difference between cooking something and baking something, basically just being that baking involves a lot more ingredients. My day job I meant like this. Hence why I said it was a bit overly negative when I didn't mean it to be. I'll most likely have a day job in 2020. That's a different story. So out of those two topics, the Pokemon Go replacement or baking something, wow, didn't expect that to be a one-shot. What would you prefer to hear? Cooking is a feeling, baking is a science. Eleanor, go back to sucking Gordon Ramsay's cock. I thought you said baka there as well. Secret room. Called it! Baking is delicious, delicious science. Oh, hello Stephen. It's been a while. You're the bane of our existence in Four Souls because you're too hard to kill. Thanks to your ending turns on a 6. What does that even have to do with how you fight in this game? Nothing. You don't freeze time or something like that. You just have an angry baby that disjoins from your head when you're almost dead. We have less than starting damage, that's why this is taking a while. Oh, you got bounced down. Well, maybe the spider will help speed things up. Or not. You're right, Gordon Ramsay does indeed look like a wrinkly potato. Even post-surgery. Or especially post-surgery, honestly. Hang on, I'll get back to reading chat after 20 years. Of course, we've got little Stephen as well. So wait, we only had one Fire Hockey Said Pokemon Go replacement. For context, I guess, because I don't think I ever discussed it in Isaac or maybe at all on stream. I think, well, I mentioned in chat when Crispy was like, hey, go accept my gifts in Pokemon Go, and I'm like, no bitch, I don't play it. That's the way we talk to each other. I don't want that bomb that badly. I wanted Spirit Hearts. So I stopped putting money into Pokemon Go like half a year ago, maybe a bit less than half a year ago. Not that I ever put a lot of money into it, it's just that for free to play stuff I do believe in showing support to it if you played it a fair amount of time. Thank you Echo 22115, I was going to say 2219 for subbing with Twitch Prime for a total of 11 months. Hey Flik, love your content, keep up the good work. Thank you. So yeah, like every 6 months or so, and I played Pokemon Go from like a month after it released. I put like $3.99 in, like not a huge amount, but I played it a lot, so I played it at least once a day when I was out walking the dog. I didn't use that bombing. Oh, did I use the bomb against Steven at all? But Niantic are not a good company, and they kept on introducing just more and more ways to try and force people to waste resources, hoping to encourage them to buy various gift boxes of resources, or just spend the coins that you hopefully couldn't accumulate too many of outside of gym battles and leaving your Pokemon in gyms. And there was one occasion which I do remember talking about in Isaac, because it pisses me off to this day, where if I wanted to carry on being able to do daily and weekly quests, I had to do an encounter against a legendary that I didn't want or need, and I wasted 60 Ultra Balls. And it's not an exaggeration, I went from 100 to 40. Obviously they weren't all hits, there was misses, but there was not a significant amount of misses. So when that happened and I saw like, oh okay, so you're blocking content behind these very difficult to catch Pokemon, you want people to waste all their shit so then they have to buy stuff. I'm not going to spend any money on you more, I'm going to carry on playing you to be a drain on your resources, but I'm never going to put any more money in. And that continued for quite a while. I guess I should read those out before I get too backlogged, but to finish the Pokemon Go explanation, carried on like that for a while, but then the exact same thing happened again recently, like 2 weeks ago maybe at this point, where once again unavoidable, thank you sites, unavoidable legendary fight. I got 30 balls deep into it and then I was like, okay, I'm going to give you 10 more, and if you don't go in, I'm deleting the app. 10 more in, didn't catch it, deleted the app. So I decided to try and find something else to amuse me while I walk the dog, because I like having a distraction, because well, one, it helps with social anxiety, and two, it stops you just getting in your own head when you're out a walk. Hello Seeker, and thank you Azure for a 26-month streak with a tier 1 sub. Also I have sides, which is my copywritten idea for a character they should add to Apex Legends, but we'll talk about that later. Keep up the good content. Koji also leaves a tip for Sora: knock over humans' trash can and wear big shoes. Sora is scared of bins. Anytime I take the bin out of the kitchen, out of the bathroom to cut my fingernails or toenails, she runs a mile. She does not like it. But then she's scared of everything, so what do you expect? Now thank you Hawks for 26 months as well, with a tier 1 sub. This one is actually anniversary, not the other not programmed correctly mess. Also hello all. Yes, I did say I got 30 balls deep, but don't take it out of context, because who has ever got 30 balls deep? I'm trying to think if there's anyone. There might be. So anyway, I went looking for good Pokemon Go replacements, and I know there is like Pokemon Go ripoffs, but I wasn't really looking for the same thing again, because it's just going to have the same problems in the manner in which they're monetized. Oh look. So I went with an app I heard a lot about a long time ago. It's not a new app at all. And it's called Zombies Run. And despite the title, you don't need to run to play the app. You can set it to be for running, you can set it to be for walking, and you can set it for like interval training if you're on a treadmill. That kind of stuff as well. Hello, la-di-da. The Hermit. Or the Hermit. I believe I'll use the Hermit. I use the Hermit. I'd like some stats though. So the point of Zombies Run is that you just set it going when you head out, and there's stories, and it's basically like listening to an interactive audiobook where you're the main character about a zombie apocalypse, and you go to this township to help them survive. Your chopper gets hit down by mysterious forces, and then you do story missions to work out what happened. And then if you don't do story missions, you can just do like supply runs, or like hoarding isn't the right word, like luring zombies away from the base and things like that, which is just like, or just like general resource collecting, because there's like a base upgrading mechanic. And it kind of just like makes your music quiet, so you can be listening to music and then it reaches a story beat, so your music gets quiet, you listen to it, automatically makes your music go back to normal volume. Pretty intuitive. It is often jarring if you're listening to like something that does not fit the theme of the episode you're listening to. Like if there's a very sad moment and you're listening to, I don't know, a joke song or heavy metal, doesn't really fit well in the background, but they can't do everything. Now my only problem is I have reached the point where I'm at the monetization for Zombies Run, which I think is at like 6 episodes deep into season 1, and I think there's like 5 seasons now. Where it says, okay, now if you want to listen to the next story episode, you can still do like the supply runs and all that stuff, but if you want the next story episode, you have to wait a week. Unless you buy a subscription. And it didn't used to be free to play. I think it was always a subscription, but then recently they made a free to play model, so this is a fairly new thing for it. I hate the subscription model. It doesn't work anymore, and I don't like doing it. That includes for MMOs, for the record. So I was a little disappointed that it wasn't just a case of, hey, you're 5 episodes deep into Season 1, why not buy the rest of Season 1 without having to wait between episodes for $3.99? And then if you want the entirety of Season 2 as soon as you get to Season 1's finale, give us $7.99. They would probably get more from me than they would from a subscription, and I'm well aware of that, but I don't like subscriptions. That's, I mean, unless it's on Twitch, in which case please give me more. So I didn't really like that they're locked, and if you want to unlock them you have to subscribe for either. I mean, the price they're asking for a yearly subscription is fair, it's just I don't want to do it. So I'm just letting them unlock, and then on days where I can't do story missions, I'm lost. I'm just doing like supply runs to upgrade the town. But I would have been happy to give them some money just to unlock the episodes. It was a one-off payment. The voice acting is largely good as well. I would say the Able Township Doctor is terrible, but other than that the rest is fine. And the story mixes like humour with sad stuff and intrigue and all that kind of thing. Oh. I corrected myself regarding the subscriptions. I didn't mean the kind of subscriptions that you get on Twitch. Although I guess they are the same because they're monthly. I've dug myself into a hole here. I'm trying to think of how to get out of it now. Oh, actually, no, as a comparison, let's say that Twitch offered a package where for a slight discount you could support a streamer for a year. Have access to the remotes for a year, just paying a lump sum rather than a monthly thing. I would be more inclined to... Did I get the item room on this floor? I'd be more inclined to do that than pay monthly. I mean, Twitch Prime is different because that's essentially free on the Twitch side. But I don't like having to keep track of subscriptions based purely on the fact that I might forget that I have them. Like, there was a bunch of people who got screwed over by Microsoft offering that, here, take a month free so you can play Sea of Thieves of whatever that game service is they've got. I'm gonna just go even if I haven't got the item room, because I hate not having a map. Also, I think I'm lost again. No, thank goodness. Because you had to give them your details as you always do when you get a free month of something. And then they just forgot about it because who plays any game that's exclusive to the Windows 10 store? Especially after how bad Sea of Thieves was. And then they just end up paying Microsoft money for a service they are not going to use. And I want to avoid that because I'm Scottish and therefore hate spending money. Yeah, there you go. Valinar subscribed to an MMO he hadn't played in half a year. And just kept on forgetting about it. That's the kind of thing I want to try and avoid. And it's not that I'm averse to giving people money who are working with free models, because as I say, I'm working with a free model here. I'm entirely, well, not entirely in a literal sense because of ads and stuff, I suppose. Almost entirely donation-driven funding. So I'm not averse to it. Do the floor again. Sure. It's just I don't want to pay monthly. I'll pay a lump sum. Especially when it's an app. You know how like most free apps offer like pay a one-off fee and then you won't have ads in our app anymore. Totally fine. Don't have a problem with that at all. That is a good way to monetize your app. As another for instance, and this is a real one, I've started using a food diary app again because I found one that didn't steal your data via the one I used to use that didn't conform with GDPR and was just like, yeah, we take all your data to America and we can do whatever we want with it, so agree to this or fuck off. I opted to fuck off. So I found one that thankfully is not like that, and I started using it, and it offers a bunch of other stuff if you're willing to give them a monthly subscription, and I'm like, why don't you offer this as just a one-time permanent upgrade? Well, I mean, I know why you don't want to do that because you want to get money in every month, but I'd be happy to fund this because I'm using it, but I'm not willing to fund it every month. Why am I getting all these Wheel of Fortunes?
Wheel of Fortune.
So as much as I would like to show my support to the app I'm using, I can't because I'm not subscribing to it. Not just so I can see the protein content I'm eating a day. But I know it is a bit of a catch-22, like, well, if they do just the one-off payment thing, how are they supposed to continue earning revenue? Find other ways. I would say definitely start with a one-time upgrade to remove ads, rather. Then offer additional services. Like meal planners, monthly meal planners for either a one-off fee so people can pick and choose whether they do it, you know, that kind of thing. There's lots of different ways other than just being a straight-up subscription model. Uh-huh. The room I always take damage in every single time. Thank you, Reiji, for 16 months in a row with Twitch Prime. Hello, Flik and chat. I just submitted an assignment that is 100% crap. Pray for me. Oh no, what was the topic of the... well, I was going to say article. Report, assignment, whatever. You could ask chat for help. And they could... Okay. They could totally give you good advice, and certainly not bad advice, because that would be silly.
48-hour energy.
Okay, I can save that, but... I'll use the devil and try and remember and come back for the stars, I guess. Oh no, but yeah, I'm doing the floor again. Network analysis in the workplace. What the hell? Since when did the beggar give you mom's knife? Oh wait, chaos. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Thanks, chaos, you just gave me mom's knife. You jumped from 4 months to 16. Oh, it changed now to show your total, not just consecutive. So that's your total months subscribed. Well, the run just got a lot easier, so that's good. I also forgot to use the devil card, so... Whoops. Gotta love when they broke Krampus. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Alright, let's go do the floor again. I won't bother taking the stars. Well, we don't have any keys. We don't need the devil now that we have mom's knife. I'll take the stars card. What's an up dog? I tried to get Valnar with that and it doesn't work. I thought there'd be a chance with him because he isn't a native English speaker, so I was like, yes, I'll get him. Didn't work. He too is familiar with memes, as it turns out. Forget me now. So when do we get a Twitch baby? Let's
up with
just
a
say
new
that
recipe.
this is a great thing for people coming over from Lisa Cake's host to hear. Let's just say there was a abortion. With no context for them. Anywho. So if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I... Oh, that's a good trinket. You know that I successfully baked something for the first time in many, many years. On my day off yesterday. I used my new slow cooker to make some chocolate vanilla and sea salt fudge. I was a little worried about how it was turning out at first. It tasted fine, but it didn't really have like the consistency I was expecting of what I imagined fudge to be. Today though, which is like 24 hours later, it settled and it tasted much better and had the consistency you'd expect from fudge. So I'm fairly successful with it. My mother liked the taste. I let her try it. And I still have enough ingredients left over that I'm going to nip to the shops and buy some more chocolate chips tomorrow so I can try a different flavour. Just with like the leftover cream and honey and stuff I had. And I'm glad that you just need to do it all in a slow cooker, because then that takes away a lot of hassle from baking. That you do everything in this one little pot that does most of it for you. It's great. Makes it feel like you're actually doing something when you're not really, you're just bunging a bunch of stuff in a pot. Really needed to use a stars card when I had the chance. Thank you, Serenity, for a 31-month streak. That's a lot of months to not be wearing any pants. Context is for losers, fudge is for winners. It was good fudge. Maybe it tastes better to me because I made it, but ugh, crappy items. But it was damn good fudge, I feel. I also feel like my mother did not express enough surprise at me successfully baking something that wasn't just like following her recipe for stew. But I think like the way it is with my mother is that she will sing my praises to other people but not directly to me. Like I can just imagine her when she goes for like an afternoon tea with one of her friends, she'll be like, oh, you'll never guess what Flik, because she calls me Flik, did. He successfully baked fudge and it didn't give me food poisoning. I didn't make cheese fudge. But now I have no idea what you're talking about. When did you start talking about cheese? Definitely missed something. What? Cheese? Also, hello, Place Cake. I see nothing about what started the conversation, I just see reactions to it. It's very confusing. It was Chris? No, Chris B, you mean. Don't know why you called him Chris, that's not his name. Also, he's pimping his way across insert the name of the world from Dragon's Dogma here. Or rather, pimping me across whatever the world in Dragon's Dogma was called. Cut to some nerd, probably Valinar, stating what the world was called in Dragon's Dogma. Yep, there we go. Right on cue. Infernal Rodan gets the commiseration prize for being second nerd. You almost got there. Be more nerdy next time. No, I did not say that. You merely posed it as an option. And then I did an emote that you chose to believe was agreement. Indifference does not mean yes. I don't want to use his real name too. Calling him Creamy Boy outside of his special place just feels wrong. What the hell was that in relation to? Do you call... Oh, you call Chris B Creamy Boy. I see. I understand. I understand, but I don't approve. Also, his wife said my fudge looked weird. That's strike 2. Strike 1 was making fun of my house decor and house flipper. It didn't look weird. It looked a little off because it was still drying. It looked fine after it was dry. Are you all on Strike 1? Yeah, it's probably just best to work with that as an assumption. We've seen that Marvel has approved 4 animated shows for adults and 2 of them are about furries. Funnily enough, no. I have heard that they're planning, or DC is planning on doing an animated movie of Hush, which I'm looking forward to, if indeed that's true. Although I hope that they don't add any horrible shit like they did with The Killing Joke and also cut out the bad parts of Hush. Also, thank you for reminding me that my Batman comics this month arrived very early and now I can talk about those. Instead of getting all depressing and talking about the most likely scenario for the end of this year. How many strikes till you like it? Go to your corner. Ugh, double envy. So the Batman comics I got for this month, again very early. The first one was Bloom, which is the direct follow-up to Super Heavy, which I talked about last time. So it's the end of a New 52 run. Commissioner Gordon is a police-sanctioned Batman with a mech suit. And Bruce Wayne isn't Batman anymore and he's just living his life and enjoying himself. And I remember saying when I was talking about Super Heavy that I liked Mr. Bloom as a villain because he was just weird and mysterious. Did not like him in Bloom. Because he literally just becomes a building-sized monster and he's utterly uninteresting. Sadly. Also, Commissioner Gordon is not a good Batman, although he constantly makes fun of himself and the comic, which I do appreciate. Like, he calls his mech suit a bunny because it has, like, instead of bat ears, they're a bit floppy, so he thinks it looks like a bunny rabbit. And when he first gets told that the police want to have an officially sanctioned Batman, he says it's the stupidest idea the city's ever had. It's like, he's being with the audience, he's reacting how they would react. So that's nice. That's quaint. I'll come back for you, Devil Card, maybe. That's not a good idea of Mom's knife. That's not a good idea in general. No. Don't remember what this does. Doesn't improve my stats, so I shouldn't have taken it. Come to me. The only really super interesting thing about Bloom, and I do need to read it through again properly because I just gave it kind of like a quick once over. I did not realise that Batman Rebirth directly followed on from New 52. I thought it was just like, oh, we've restarted the universe again. The continuities are different, so anything can happen. But the reason it's called Batman Rebirth is because in Bloom, Bruce Wayne becomes Batman again. So he is reborn as Batman, and hence why the next comic run was called Rebirth. So I learned something. The manner in which he becomes Batman again is a little too out there. Because the whole thing is after Endgame where Batman and the Joker kill each other and they both kind of die in the presence of like a primordial version of a Lazarus pit. They both got healed because the Joker is in Bloom, but both of them have no knowledge of the previous lives. So, like in Super Heavy, Superman comes to Alfred and he's like, we have to tell Bruce that he was Batman. And the example that Alfred uses is he holds up a kryptonite ring and says, I'm going to give you this ring, fly to Metropolis. And like asking you to do that when obviously you can't because it's kryptonite is like asking Bruce Wayne to be Batman when his mind has been remade without anything that made him Batman. Like his grief isn't there, he doesn't have his detective skills, he has no memory of training for 15 years. So it would just be like committing suicide, essentially. But prior to dying in Endgame, he made something called the Final Machine or something like that, which was his idea, his grand idea to always have a Batman. Where he would keep on cloning himself near the end of his life and then imprint his memory on the clone. So that it would remember his grief and therefore there would always be a Batman. Which yes, is very stupid, but you know how it is in comics. So he puts himself inside that machine instead of a clone and it teaches him how to be him again. And that's how he becomes Batman. The best parts of Bloom are when he's just like feeding pigeons in a park and then the person who was the Joker appears and just has chats with him. Because as it turns out, like, Bruce Wayne without the pain that made him Batman, he's just like a happy guy. But Joker without the parts that make him Joker, he's just manically depressed and very unhappy. So it's a nice kind of juxtaposition of those two talking to each other, not as themselves. Which was kind of neat. And it also implies, like, right at the end of Bloom that Joker is also starting to remember who he was. Because presumably he's still a villain in Rebirth, so... that would make sense, they couldn't get rid of Joker. So yeah, those were the best part. All in all, though, it wasn't that interesting. I preferred, like, Super Heavy as just a kind of weird setup. And the other one I got this week... this month rather, not this week, was Black Mirror, but they have split it into 2 parts. So one of the ones I'm getting next month will be part 2 of Black Mirror. Spoke about it before, so I'm not going to go into it in detail again. It's my favourite Dick Grayson as Batman story. It's very good. It's got a good story arc for Commissioner Gordon in it as well. About whether or not his estranged son is a psychopath. And it's kind of like it's Dick Grayson getting sick of Gotham. And how it just eats people up. So yeah, it's a very good story. Talked about it before, so I'm not going to go into it, but I do recommend reading it. A little bit of a shame they broke it into 2 parts though, because they've done a few long issues, and I mean, I've got Black Mirror as a separate book already. It's a one-shot issue. I'd say it's like 3 times the length of The Killing Joke, which is pretty short. So they could have done it as 1 issue, so they're cheating a little bit, stretching it across 2, I feel. Maybe they just wanted to do like a cliffhanger type thing, I don't know.
2 of clubs.
I killed chat by talking about Batman. I'm sorry chat, I nerded out. It's okay, I'm done now, you can come back. There's no more Batman to hurt you. Even though I wish there was. Although I'm probably going to be recording the first live Batman miniature game match this week. Depending on how my stomach feels, basically. Oh, there was a skull there. So we'll see how that goes and see how I take to recording that as a battle thing. I was waiting until the tabletop match we tried to learn the rules went live just in case there was anybody who was more familiar with the rules watching who could point out, oh no, you don't do this, you do that. Didn't get any comments like that, so that either means we did everything right or there's nobody who knows otherwise. So either way, it's kind of win-win. I do also want to nerd out about the new 40k battle box coming, but I need to see all the models first. And then I need to find someone who wants the chaos side of it to split the cost with me. Ew. Not that there's anything wrong with the chaos side, it's just that they can't be used as death guards, so I don't want them. Even though they do look awesome. The previews so far anyway. Homing bombs when we have Mr. Mega seems like an okay idea.
Joker.
Oh right, yeah, chaos. It's been a while since I've had Bomber Boy, is that what it's called? But I worry about my HP when Mr. Mega would also make it very damaging, or very big rather. Well, I don't know, what else shall we talk about now then, chat? I've killed all conversation by talking about Batman. Oh, what I will say about Bloom, just to briefly go back, Batman does have a giant mech fight against Mr. Bloom, which is silly and fun, I suppose. Not what I'm looking for in my Batman comics, but it's fun enough. Good job I killed you all. Why don't we talk about how awesome Apex Legends is? Again, trying to avoid any kind of depressing topic of conversation. Like, I'm really enjoying it. And unlike PUBG and unlike Fortnite, I was thinking about this. I like the roguelike-ish aspect of playing with randoms and seeing what you end up with, because the marking and AI talking to you is so intuitive. Doesn't matter if your teammates are mute. So that kind of takes away the sting of, like, say, 5 losses in a row, or 5 matches in a row where nothing happens because your teammates are incompetent. For some reason it isn't bothering me, because I'm enjoying just kind of seeing the flavours. And this all comes back to this deep-rooted love of roguelike that I didn't know I had until I played Isaac, the Flash version. Where getting random teammates in a battle royale is a roll of a dice as well. And unlike the other battle royales I played, which I would never play solo. I think I didn't ever play PUBG solo. Fortnite, I jumped into a few matches solo to do like some of the tasks for the battle pass. Literally just did whatever the battle pass asked and then went and jumped off the cliff and died. Never seriously tried to play a match because it just did not appeal as a solo thing. But Apex Legends, I don't mind it. I'm glad it's doing well. Might like it less once people have put like ridiculous hours into it and become very good. Because right now I'm mostly getting matches where it's kind of... I wouldn't say there's a particularly large skill gap. It's really down to them now, Respawn, and whether or not they've got all this content ready to come. Capitalise on the success like Fortnite did. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing, but like bring out a battle pass, bring out extra characters to earn, do the Overwatch thing by giving them a bunch of skins, theme the skins. Like, it takes the best parts of Overwatch, Fortnite, PUBG, even Blackout, honestly, and mushes them together to something that is very enjoyable even if you're not very good at it. And not just because you can waste 20 minutes grappling around the level as a robot, never shooting your gun once and still getting 3rd place. Is a hypothetical that totally didn't happen. Maybe. You stop earning loot boxes after level 45. Level 45. What level am I now? I'm like level 16 and I played it a fair bit. Maybe a bit higher actually. I've not paid attention to my level. So after level 45, the only way to get loot boxes would be to buy them then? I'm definitely not level 45 yet, and I've put in over 20 hours. So if they're forcing you to put money in at that point to get skins and finishers and what have you, to get to that point of not getting loot boxes, you've put in enough time where really you should be spending a little bit of money on it. Just a little bit. And that's part of the free-to-play game. Was that not... Oh, it's a double tinted rock. I never see those. I got 17 last time? Yeah, so I've got a long way to go. It'll take you a long ass time to get to level 45, unless you're like literally winning every match. I think we're ready to get rid of deck of cards for a speed increase. And the ability to fly. Is there word on when the next hero's coming out? Have they already done a roadmap? I tried finding one and I couldn't. Because I mean, when Overwatch came out, it took a while. Who was the first character they added to Overwatch? Was it Anna? It took her a while to appear, right? Although they started with a much bigger roster, to be fair. And then I'm trying to remember if it was Anna first. It was Anna, then Sombra, then Orisa, Doomfist, then Ashe? Is that right? I feel like I'm missing someone. Oh, Torbjorn's daughter, Baguette. And the hamster. Oh, and Moira. God, I'm forgetting everybody. Okay, as it turns out, I forgot a lot of people. But also, to be fair, I wasn't really playing the game when they added Baguette. I barely played the game when they added the hamster. Moira, I've got no excuse for. I was playing it when they added her. It's okay, no one cares. Yeah. Rip Overwatch. No, I mentioned Doomfist. I definitely said Doomfist. Might have said it in the wrong order, but I definitely said him. Incidentally, the only damage increase we've had this entire run was scythes, which is why Mom's Knife is even taking a while to kill stuff. Because we've had nothing other than that. So it's still only doing 5 damage, but it's doing it a lot. I like Doomfist, despite him being largely useless. Any summer game I'm looking forward to? Well, Anthem. Wait, summertime? Anthem's out before that. Summertime is too far away. Summertime is also very bereft of game releases. It's more likely I'll be using summer to go back and playing older games. Like Nier Automata, as we discussed recently on Monster Hunter. But I guess talking about that and talking about Overwatch can link into the other thing I wanted to mention because it's been on my mind recently. Maybe Dragon's Dogma. It was around about this time in 2016. Like when, at the start of 2016, that was the year where I started streaming, but I didn't start streaming until like, well, when Overwatch came out, so that was like July. So at the start of 2016, I was just doing YouTube, and YouTube wasn't working. As it is now. It was, well, now is worse, but back then it was bad too. And I was like, okay, well, this isn't sustainable. This will have to be the last year I'm doing this, unless Twitch takes off. Twitch did kind of take off, although it's more so that Overwatch made YouTube take off again. And then Twitch kind of benefited from that on the side. And we're kind of at that position again. Or not kind of, we are. Except this time, Twitch needs to succeed on its own, because it's very unlikely anything on YouTube is going to happen anymore. Now that said, it's not like I expected Overwatch to do well, it just kind of happened, so it's possible something like that could happen again. It's hard to see coming. But YouTube as a platform has changed enough that it's less likely. It's trying to steer away from gaming content. It's not as popular anymore. I don't want either of those. And I have no idea how to get natural growth on Twitch. I don't even know how to do it on YouTube anymore either, because I know the go-to answer is like, oh, do clickbait stuff with your face in the thumbnail, you know, the stuff I've been saying for years. I don't think that's true anymore. I think even if you do that, you're not guaranteed anything. Well, not that you would be guaranteed anything, but I don't think it's a surefire way to find success on YouTube anymore. Now, if you did it about politics or drama, maybe. I don't think that kind of stuff works anymore. Again, because the platform has changed a lot. You don't know if anyone knows how to do natural growth on Twitch? I mean, that's possible. Yeah, again, I don't know if it's a thing you can even learn, really. Collaboration on Twitch is most likely the best way, and that's true on YouTube as well. It's just leech, but I mean in a good way. Leech off someone who has audience share and hope that some people cross over. Titties always help. That's a very cynical way to look at things. I've never been more proud of you. Yes, I would say it's fair to think that YouTube cripples smaller channels. Well, not even necessarily cripples smaller channels, but it doesn't bother helping them because they want what's already getting audience share to keep on getting it. It makes sense. But yeah, I'm not really moaning about YouTube because, hey, we've done that to death for 2 years, so who cares? It's more so that kind of like the reason like I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3, for instance, on stream, even though it's not popular. Played Warframe on stream even though it's not popular. It was kind of meme-y popular at first. I'm kind of just, as I said at the start of the year, playing what I like just to kind of enjoy what could be the last year of doing this full time. The way I see things going, because I don't see anything like saving or like having the Overwatch effect, let's say. I was going to say saving my channel, but it's really irrelevant because even if you have no audience share, you can still have a channel and work it. I see things going that things will continue to decline this year. Towards the end of the year, probably. I mean, I would be very surprised if YouTube kept going down, but hey, it might. Who cares? I don't see Twitch growing particularly. I say as Rosewood Arthur uses Twitch Prime, thank you. Twitch Prime is a good thing. So what's going to happen at the end of the year is I will most likely just have to go back into normal work. I don't intend to stop streaming like cold turkey because I like doing it, whether I have people watching or not. So most likely just start doing less streams and then cater how many I can do based on how busy I am with like whatever work I go into. That's the plan. Well, it's not the plan, that's what I think is going to happen. I'd rather it didn't. Thank you, Rideout, that is very generous. Although it does make it seem like I'm begging for like money, that's not what I'm doing. I'm still fine. But I've mentioned before, it's like you don't want to just be doing fine in a job that's not got a lot of longevity. I'd love to do this until I was 50. It's very unlikely that's going to be the case. So you've got to try and make a lot more than you need early so that your future is secure. That's why footballers are paid well. Footballers are paid too much, but they get paid a lot because they retire at 30. And I feel like content creation or influencers, or whatever the hell we're called these days, that's why as well. So yeah, you can bulk it like how much the top streamers on Twitch or the top YouTubers on YouTube are earning however many millions per year. They might not be around longer than 10 years. So, oh wow. So, although they do probably earn too much, they need to, because it's not a long-term job. That's why a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers branch off into other stuff. That's why Dodger has a coffee brand. That's smart. It's a good idea. Also, it lets you taste other aspects of business. So even if it all falls through, it gives you experience in an area outside of, hey, I talk to people for a living. Thank you, Hopka Flip. I apologise for messing up your name though, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Not Fenris. Old man Flik's gaming stuff. Hey, I'm already old by internet standards. So that's worst case scenario for how 2019 is going to go. Best case scenario, well, best, like ultra super best case scenario is that I just keep doing what I'm doing and somehow magically it starts working. Middle of the road scenario is that something like Overwatch comes along again, and this time I don't make the mistake I did with Overwatch, where I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm glad Overwatch is doing well, but I'm still just going to play whatever I want. You have to kind of ride it like a pony. Ride it for all it's worth, secure your future, and then go back to doing what you do. Like PewDiePie's... I said his name real weird. He's made enough in the bank that he can now do whatever he wants, and that's what he is doing. He's no longer just catering to the children he had to cater to for years because he's secure enough. He's got his pension secured. That's where I want to be. Because I like being a variety streamer, but if something comes along that does get Overwatch's popularity, even if people don't like it, you've gotta ride it. Oh, it's your birthday, Hopka. Then happy birthday. I hope you spend it well. Now again, obviously that's not the ideal. But I made the mistake of thinking, even if like stuff starts slowing down because I'm not just playing Overwatch every single day, that's okay because enough people will stick around. That's not the way it works. Sadly, I was very naive to think it would be like that. But that's why the ideal is somehow natural growth happens without having to... It's not even selling out, but like... I don't know, say I became super well known because magically I was very good at Apex Legends. I'd be playing Apex Legends every day. Which, in the short term, would not be a bad thing for most people, but eventually people, I feel like they do want variety. At least, I do. I think Apex Legends might have an Overwatch effect. You can't really do, like, joke videos in Apex Legends, as far as I'm aware. If you could do, like, all Gibraltar teams, or all Mirage teams and just piss people off, or all Trolley teams and go Pathfinder, that stuff would be hilarious. Because keep in mind, it was the, like, doing silly stuff all as the same character on Overwatch that got me notoriety. It wasn't me playing Overwatch because I don't play it particularly well. Beyond, like, a generic skill level. People did watch me just play it, which was nice. But it was doing the viral playing as the same hero that got any attention. All the big WoW streamers are having a real hard time because no one gives a shit about the new expansion. Yep. That is the thing when you have an audience based on the game you're playing rather than just you playing whatever you want. Now to briefly, because we're ending this run in a second as well, to briefly not be hard on myself, I feel like there is an audience out there who would appreciate someone who doesn't shout and scream and is very sarcastic and dour. Definitely not for everybody, 100% for sure. But I think it would be overly negative to assume that nobody wants to listen to someone with my type of personality. Or anyone's. There's someone out there for everybody. Discoverability is always the problem. What about the new Elder Scrolls expansion? That's what Kurt is currently playing as far as I'm aware. Delirium? Nope. Okay, well that means we're gonna cut off this slightly... I'm gonna stand on myself as well.
The High Priestess.
We're gonna cut off this dour conversation because who wants to listen to that? And say for YouTube, we usually end up playing Isaac every Tuesday stream if you're interested, where I recount what I did with my day off and sometimes get miserable. Thanks for watching and ta-ta for now.